Hello everyone, my name is Dwayne Kimball, owner and founder of KMD 89 VA Claims Consultant, Leave No Vet Behind, and also I'm a United States Army veteran. Today I'm bringing you another educational video as it pertains to the VA disability compensation claims process. And today I'm going to be doing a recap on two topics. One is a high-level review, and the second review will be on the disability benefit questionnaires, also known as the DBQs. So the first topic, high-level reviews. Over the past few weeks in my educational training, I've been receiving a lot of emails with a lot of questions as it pertains to a high-level review, and it's become apparent to me that a lot of veterans are still uneducated and making a lot of mistakes as it pertains to the high-level review. So today I'm going to be talking about the how, when, and why. I think these are the most important for veterans to understand, so that's what I'm going to be talking about today. So how do you file an HLR, high-level review? That can be done simply by submitting a VA form 20-0996. Again, that's a VA form 20-0996, okay? Secondly, when? You have 365 days to submit a high-level review, okay? 365 days. If you let that 365 days lapse, then you lose all appeal rights, okay? Then everything starts all over again, okay? Now, there could be some exceptions if you're doing a high-level review based on a CUE for an incorrect effective date or an evaluation or incorrect evaluation for a particular condition, okay? So remember, my last video, one of my last videos that pertains to CUEs, I mentioned that CUEs do not expire, okay? You can call a CUE on something 2 or 3 years old. But what we're talking about today, high-level reviews, your appeal period is 365 days. That's when. And how do you know when that 365 days start, okay? So when you receive that rating decision in the mail, you're gonna have two things in that packet. The first one is gonna be the notification letter, and then secondly, it's gonna be the rating decision, okay? The rating decision is gonna be, the date on the rating decision is gonna be 2 or 3 days before the date of the notification, okay? Because the rating specialist completes the rating decision, and the VSR completes the notification letter, okay? So the rating specialist, they do the rating decision, let's just say on the 1st. And then maybe 2 or 3 days later, the VSR gets it, reviews it, yep, everything is good to go. They put together a notification letter, that's done on the 3rd. Those are two different dates. So the 365 days start from the date that's on the notification letter, and that can be found in the top left-hand corner on the notification letter. Normally, that's the first page of that packet that you receive, okay? So definitely keep that in mind. You have 365 days to file a high-level review, okay? Last, why do you file a high-level review? And I think this is where a lot of veterans are confused or don't have the proper education, okay? If you are doing a high-level review, you want to know why you're doing it. Are you doing it because you feel you should be service-connected? Or are you doing it because there was a mistake made? Either instance, you want to know, or you want to be educated as to why are you filing that high-level review, okay? That's definitely, that's important, okay? One of my videos I did mention I won my appeal, but before I even did the appeal, which it used to be called appeals, but it's high-level review now, before I even did it, I made sure I had everything that decision review officer was looking at, all the evidence, okay? Because I wanted to make sure I had a game plan or plan of attack before I even submitted that appeal, okay? So what does that mean? If you filed a claim for a condition, okay, and let's just say you were treated in service for it, you were given a comp and pen exam, and then you received a rating decision denying you. Obviously, that more than likely that examiner gave a negative opinion, okay? And if that examiner gave a negative opinion, you want to know the rationale that supported that negative opinion. How can you file a high-level review without having that information? If you're just saying, a lot of times I get asked questions about high-level reviews, and then I ask those questions: were you treated in service for it? Does that condition fall under the one of the 5 ways of service connection? Pre-service aggravation, direct basis, secondary, increase, or presumptive. 9 times out of 10, if it doesn't, you're going to get denied. And then if you do a high-level review just because the rating specialist denied it, more than likely the decision review officer is going to confirm that denial if it doesn't fall under the 5 ways of service connection. So that's why I say 9 times out of 10, okay? Because every claim is different, okay? You can't do what another veteran did and hope to have the same outcome, okay? So you want to make sure you have all the correct information before you even submit that high-level review, okay? Because if you don't, it's like throwing something at the wall, hoping something sticks. You can get lucky, but there's a high chance that you won't get lucky and you'll just get denied again, okay? So just as a quick recap, talked about how, when, and why. How, VA Form 20-0996. When, 365 days from the date of that's on the notification letter. And then third, why? Why do you want to file a high-level review? You got to ask yourself that question and then formulate a plan of attack from there, okay? The second topic I'm going to be discussing today is the Disability Benefit Questionnaire, DBQs. I'm still getting a lot of questions about these DBQs. We all know back in April 2020 this year, the VA removed the DBQs from the website. I have yet to see anything in the regulation or reference or email from the VA stating they are no longer accepting DBQs from veterans that have DBQs completed by private physicians. Now, that could change here in the near future. They could be working on that this weekend. Who knows? So if you're looking at this video 2 or 3 months from now, you definitely want to go and check the regulation or the manual reference to see if the if the VA has stated they're no longer accepting them, okay? I get a lot of questions from veterans on a weekly basis. Is the VA still accepting DBQs? They said. I don't know who they are, but at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to make sure that, if you're submitting a DBQ, certain things are met, okay? So as of right now, I haven't seen any directive, from the VA's website that would prevent VSRs or RVSRs not taking into consideration DBQs from the veterans' private physicians. Now, with that being said, like I said, it's certain things you as a veteran, you have to do. When you get a DBQ, first thing you want to do is look in the top right-hand corner to see if that DBQ has expired, okay? A lot of DBQs before they, well, not a lot, but a few DBQs, before they removed them from the VA website, they were already expired. One in particular was the DBQ for migraines. That had already expired before they removed them. It expired September 2019. I want to say September 19, 2019. I'm not for sure, but I know it was September 2019, okay? So you want to make sure if you download a DBQ or you get a DBQ from a friend, your lawyer, or your representative, or whoever, you want to make sure that DBQ hasn't expired. One of my clients had a DBQ, reviewed it. The doctor did a phenomenal job in completing the DBQ, but it had already expired. Okay, so You don't want to waste your time to have someone to complete a DBQ that is already expired. Okay. Second, if you have a DBQ completed, just because a medical professional completed it does not mean it's sufficient for rating purposes. You want to go through to make sure that DBQ is correct. Not only is complete, but it's correct, and it's sufficient for rating purposes. Okay, that I cannot stress that enough. You want to make sure that it's sufficient for rating purposes. So just keep in mind, just because a doctor completed doesn't mean that it was completed correctly. So you want to do your due diligence and go through and review it, or have someone that you trust and know what they look like, what they should look like, to review it to make sure it's sufficient for rating purposes. Now, a couple of DBQs out there has to be completed by certain professionals, and that's the review PTSD DBQ and also the review DBQ for other mental diagnosis other than PTSD. You can find that in one or two places on the VA's website under the manual reference, or secondly, just look at the top of the DBQ in the content. I can't remember what the name of the section, but it's right under the section underneath the name that has the name of the DBQ. It'll give you a list of professionals that can complete that DBQ. Now, also something is interesting that's been happening, and it's been going on for the last few years, but I've been noticing it recently, and it happened to me on my last condition that I claimed with the VA, and it's VSRs are still scheduling exams when veterans submit DBQs that are sufficient for rating purposes. I'm going to repeat that. VSRs, or let's just say, I'm not going to call out the VSRs because it's possibly some rating specialists is doing it as well. So we'll just say the VA, some individuals at the VA are still scheduling comp and pen exams for veterans when the particular veterans have submitted DBQs that are sufficient for rating purposes, meaning, again, they're not expired, they were completed by the correct medical professional, and they're sufficient for rating purposes, okay? This also happened to me. Submitted DBQ for increase. A couple of weeks after that, I got a call from QTC stating that the VA contracted them to do this particular exam. I was infuriated. I was highly upset. And I told the representative of QTC, I'm not showing up. I don't want there to be any conflicting medical evidence. I turned around, I called the VA call center, 800-827-1000, told them I wasn't going, that whoever submitted that exam, they did it incorrectly because I had a DBQ on file and it was sufficient for rating purposes, and to move my claim to the rating activity ready for decision, RFD, okay? They did that. 2 weeks later, I got my rating decision in the mail, granted me my increase. Now, I'm not saying you should do that, okay? I'm not advising anyone to do anything. These videos are for educational purposes only. Now, you have to talk to your lawyer, your representative, your wife, your husband, or whomever, and you have to make that decision for you, okay? I'm just telling you what I did and what's going on. So a few of my clients have, had disability benefit questionnaires completed, and they called me and say, hey, Dwayne, I got a call from LHI, QTC, or whoever, and they're saying they want to do an exam. And I'm like, well, you had a DBQ completed. So, at that point, you're at a crossroad. What do? I share with you what I did. I'm not saying that you do it, but, you'll have to make that decision as it pertains to your claim, okay? So let's do a recap. We talked about how letter review. How do you do it? VA Form 20-0996. When do you do it? 365 days of the date that's on the what? The notification letter. Not the date on the rating decision, the date that you were notified of that decision, okay? Third, why do you do it, okay? again, you have to figure out, you have to get all the evidence, and you got to look at, okay, you know, why was I denied, or why was there a negative opinion, or whatever. You need to make sure you have all that information before you move forward, okay? You don't have to, but again, you have to be looking at something. You have to ask a question. You have to ask yourself the question, why am I doing a high-level review? Just because reason of being, oh, just because I was denied and I feel I should get it, that's not a good reason, okay? Not saying that you shouldn't get service connected, but again, the point I'm trying to make is you want to be educated and you want to know why you were denied and what that reasoning was, okay? Lastly, DBQs. Always check the date of the DBQ in the top right-hand corner. Ensure the correct medical professional completed it, and make sure that it is sufficient for rating purposes, okay? You gotta do that. Make sure that it's sufficient. Just because your doctor completed it doesn't mean they completed it correctly, all right? Okay, with that being said, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can get notified of other educational videos that I upload to YouTube. Also, go to my website, kmd89.com. That's kmd89.com to look at upcoming educational training that I'm doing here in the near future. So please continue to be safe during this whole COVID-19 pandemic. Thank you for watching this video. I hope to see you in one of my next educational trainings. If not, I'll see you in the next educational video. Thank you.